Welcome everybody to our session, the Primo V NDE configuration. We'll begin by looking at the plan here for our webinar. And let's take a look at the plan. In addition to this plan, we have with us Nili. Nili, thank you very much for joining us. Nili Natan from Primo Product Management. Nili will be
Hello.
able to answer if we have any questions, for example, about additional development plans, anything along those lines. Nili, feel free to interrupt anytime you'd want. And Nili will also be looking at the chat. Feel free along the way to send in your questions in the chat. I will see the chat. Nili will see the chat. Depending on the nature of the question, we'll stop and discuss it, or we'll just answer it in the chat and continue on.
Right.
So what is our plan today? An introduction. We're now in our introduction. We're talking about the Primo V NDE configuration. The Primo V NDE, we're assuming you're already familiar with this. We've already had sessions on it. The Primo V NDE is the next discovery experience. It's the latest version of our Primo V. It's currently available on your sandbox. We're currently in the October release. You all have this available on your sandbox. You can play around in your sandbox already with it. In the November release, which is coming out very soon, we're already at October 28th. In the November release, you will have it also in your production. So you can continue playing around with the Primo V NDE on your production environment. You can create a view for the Primo V NDE, which is not your live view, and you can start looking at it, configuring it, playing around with it. Today, we're going to be showing various aspects of the Primo V NDE configuration, focusing on what's called the customization package. We're going to discuss what the customization package is. If you're not familiar with it yet, that's fine. We'll be focusing primarily on the customization package, but not only. And in using the customization package, we'll be looking at a series of examples, changing the icon, changing the header and footer, changing the home page, updating the page titles, and changing the color scheme. And all of this is the order we'll be doing it, so that changing the color scheme is a time-permitting activity. If we have time, we'll get to that one as well. We want to make sure we get into the details. Before we jump right in, a few minor administrative issues. We're on the 2025 Roadmap webinar series. This is our final session in the 2025 Roadmap webinar series. We've done quite a bit. This is the whole page here. I'm going to send this out in the chat, even though I know most, if not all of you already have this, because we know you're registered from here. So all of the information about all of our sessions is here on this page. You've got, for example, the links to the information about each session, the details of each session. So today, for example, we're on October 28th, the Primo V NDE configuration. What we'll be showing, you've got access to here, the PowerPoint. I'm not going to be looking at the PowerPoint today, but you've got a PowerPoint, a link to the PowerPoint here. Blog posts. We will be showing these. These are very important blog posts here. In fact, I'm going to take this with me now, copy the link address. And if I look at those, that's on the Developers Network. On the Developers Network, we have a series of blogs, all with this tag, how to use the Primo V NDE customization package. These are the ones we're going to be looking at live today. Changing the logo, changing the color theme, using the headers and changing the headers and footers, changing the home page. In addition to these 4 blogs, there's blogs which our Primo V NDE community has already been creating. If I come here to the Primo V NDE or the Primo V NDE customization package, you'll see here blogs created by our community, University of Rochester, the ETH library, etc., University of Haifa. So you're welcome to look at these as well. They're not only from Ex Libris employees, but also from the community on activities they have done themselves using the Primo V NDE customization. So you're welcome to look at those as well. Also, just to make sure everybody is familiar, we have a Ex Libris YouTube channel. On that YouTube channel, we've got a series of videos also on using the Primo V NDE configurations. If we come here, it's a playlist with 4 different videos. For example, here's one on using the Primo V NDE customization package to add the headers and footers. And note also that these are also in each of the blogs. If I go into any of the blogs, you'll see here a link, a video to accompany this blog may be found, and you've got a link here right to the video. Okay, so let's jump right in. I think that's enough. I'm not even going to show the Ex Libris webinars page. I assume everybody is already familiar with that. So let's jump in. We don't want to use too much of our time on the introductory information. So let's begin now on the Primo V NDE configuration, and we're going to say change the icons. So we want to now, here's our Primo V NDE, and we want to change the icon here. Right now, my icon says Clarivate. I'm going to leave this here, and then when I create a new one, we'll see what the new one is. So I have a series of icons here. I've got a directory here. Let me go to my directory. And inside that directory, I've got different ones that I want to use, and in there, I want to change. So these are various icons I've got. The one being used right now is none of these, as you may see. Right now, we're using this icon here that says Clarivate, and we're going to change it. In fact, I'm just going to very, very briefly save this one here, just in case we want to come back and say that we want to return it to that one there. So I'm going to take that one just as a way of showing I can take any kind of picture and use that. So I'm going to take this one here and I'll save this. Let's say crop, file, save as. And I will say this, I'll just call this the Clarivate logo. Okay. So let's go through step by step now what we're going to do. Here I am in Alma. Let's go to the beginning of Alma. First, we're going to access the Primo view for which we want to change the icon. So we'll access the views via Discovery, and under Discovery, Display Configuration and Configure Views. We're talking about the Primo V NDE. So let's take this one here, which we know is an NDE view because it's got the check mark here in the NDE column. And this one here, I'm going to close that one there. If I say go to view now, this is that view. And if I say edit this view, I'll have all of the different options to be able to edit this view. And we're focusing today primarily on this part here, Manage Customization Package. I'm going to stop sharing for a minute because I just want to explain something without looking at everything. It works as follows. There's a package which includes various aspects such as the color scheme, the landing page, the footers, the headers, the tiles which appear on the landing page. And what happens is we download that package, make whatever changes we want, zip it, reload it, and save it. When we save it, that's called deploy, and then we see the changes. So the general overview of the flow of what we're doing, download the package, change it, upload it, see the changes in Primo. That's what we're going to do right now. But that's the process. So here we are in the customization package. Here we are, current view customization package we're going to download. This template view customization package, all of this is in the PowerPoint, which I'm not showing because you can read that on your own. The template view customization package is when it's your first time. If you've done no customization whatsoever, that's a template, so you can change it, and then from then on, use the current view customization package. I'm now going to download this current view customization package. Download. That's now in my downloads. Let's make a folder here. I'm coming back here. I'm going to make a folder here. I'm going to call this folder. Let's call this webinar morning, because we're also going to have a webinar afternoon session. Webinar morning. Everything we're going to do now is going to be in this webinar morning. So I put that in my downloads. Here's my download. I'll take this with me. And here's my webinar morning. Here's my customization package. I'm going to open this customization package and then start making the changes. Let's go take a look, by the way, while we're already here. Let's take a look at the blog. I'm going to go to blog here. Oh, I was already in it, actually. So let's go step by step here. We'll make sure the blog is good. So we saw that we have a logo, which is Clarivate. We want to change it. Doesn't matter what we want to change it to. In the blog, I change it to this logo here. So we went into the Manage Customization Package tab. We downloaded the file. We got the zip. We put it in a certain directory. Now let's open it. By the way, the recommended size for the logo is 411 by 123 pixels. You've got a link here to the online help, which explains, among other things, best practices for the logos and thumbnails. So let's continue. So we've got the package here, and now we're going to open it up. So I'm going to unzip it. You can zip it however you want. I like to use the 7-zip and say extract here. So now it's opened up. Within this package, there are various files. All of these are explained in that online help link, but I'm going to go into the assets. Into the assets, we have various folders. Among them are icons and images. If we go back to the blog here, we'll see that if we open it and we go to the images, that's where we have our logos, and the logo needs to be called library-logo. Library-logo. So let's go here to our images. And here's the one we're using now, library-logo. It says on it Clarivate. That's the one being used now. That's why here we have this one here that says Clarivate. I'm going to take that one and remove it. I'm not even going to make a backup because I see here I already have a backup of it. So I'm going to just remove that one. And now I need a new one, which I want to call library-logo. So I happen to have a list of a group of pictures here. Let me go in there and get one. Just so we'd save time, I've got a list here of logos. So let's take any of these. I'll take this one here. So we'll copy this. This is the logo I want to use now. So we'll take this and we'll go back to our directory there under Webinar Morning. Here we are. This is the directory. The directory, by the way, is always going to be the name of the institution and the view. But that happens automatically when you download it. You just don't need to change it. So here we are. We're going into images. I'm going to paste that. And I will call it. Let's even make a copy of it and call it. I will call this now library-logo. Library. Okay, I had the A in the wrong place. So that's now the one that's going to be used. If I want, I can play around with the size of it. I can also just upload it and then see, is it too big? Is it too small? Play with the size again. Let's take it here and let's play around a little bit. I'm going to say edit with photos. And here we're saying we want it to be 411 by 123 pixels. It doesn't have to be exact, but we could play around and do a resize if we want here. Maybe we'll just leave it for now, but I could resize it here and do whatever, but I'll save it And then if we see it's too big, too small, we'll make a change. So now we put the logo there. Now we need to zip this and reload it to Alma. So I'm going to rezip it. I'm coming back to the top. This is the new folder. This is the old one. In fact, let's make a backup of this one. 2025. I just put the local time here. 10:28, and the local time is 08:15. Okay, so I'm going to zip this now. We put our new logo in place, zipping it. I'll say add to this one here. And here's my new file, my new zip file, which has the new logo, which we called library logo. And we didn't resize it. We might want to do it again and resize it. But let's see how it appears first shot. So now we'll reload that. Here we are in Alma. And now we're going to say upload package. So I'm going to choose the new file, the new zip file. Go to that directory where we put it. Here it is. Right now, that's my local time right now. Oh, no, that was the wrong one. I want to take the zip. Here it is, the zip. Upload. Now it's been uploaded. It says customization file uploaded successfully, but now we need to click save. The save does a deploy. Save. Customization package deployed successfully. I'm going to leave this one here. I'm not going to refresh. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to, because I want to be able to compare. So now I'm going to take here, go to the view. I already clicked save here. I can get out. And go to the view again. Now, sometimes we need to open in a new browser, clear all the cookies. It does, the changes that we see from the customization package are not immediate. It requires refreshing the browser. So I've still got it there. Let me do a control function F5, or better yet, all right, we'll do a control function F5 here. Control function F5, okay. There it is. So now we've got our new logo. We have the new logo because that's the one that we put inside the directory of the logos. Here on the top left, that's our new logo. Here's our original logo. If I want to put this original logo back, the Clarivate logo, I could just rename it. And we'll do that during our next version. Before I continue, let me stop for a moment, see if there's any questions or comments. I want to check the chat and see. Nothing in the chat. I see we got 105 people and there's no questions. We just went through a whole process. We downloaded the customization package. We made a change. We uploaded it. We deployed. We saw it. No questions. Let me make sure everyone's still with us. Just give a little answer in the chat. Just say we still hear you. Okay, people are saying they still hear me. So everyone's still with me, just no questions. Very good. So let's go on now to the next one. I'm going to reshare, share. So let's take the next example now. Let's go back to our plan. So that was the icon. Now we're going to talk about the header and the footer. Actually, let's do this part here. Add a clickable link for the logo using the user interface. So right now, if somebody comes in and clicks this, let me close this one. This is our old one. So now we loaded a new logo. If I click this new logo, you can see on the bottom, it goes to Ex Libris GroupCon Products Primo Discovery Service. If I click it, I go here. Let's say I want to add a different link so that when someone clicks it, they come to my library. So let me get any library here. Just so I have a link to some library. Let's take a different library. Let's say, okay, so now I've got, let's say, oh, there's a lot of NTU libraries in the world, I see. All right, so let's say I want to go here. This is the link. So I've got a link here. So if I want now to have, when someone clicks that link, they come to that one, now I'm not going to use the customization package. There are also configurations which can be done without using the customization package. So I'm going to edit the view again. And now we've got here, I'm in the General tab, logo clickable URL. So I'm going to put in now this one here, which I just took off the internet. And here it is. Save. Now if I come to my view and I refresh again, I'm just doing an F5 to renew my browser, clear the cookies out. Now if I click this, it's still transferring data. Okay, now I'm going to click it. And now I go to a different link because I go to this different link, which is the link that I put inside the view. So let's come back here. Now I'm going to put back my original one. Save. Come back to my view. Refresh again. And click the link again. Click the icon again. And now I go back to, we'll see in a moment, my original link. We can already see the original link on the bottom. There we go. Back to Ex Libris Group Com Products Primo Discovery Service. So that's how we can change the link. So we use the customization package to change the actual logo. Then we used the General tab, the regular configuration to change the link. Now let's talk about the header and the footer. Now I already have a footer in here, but let's say we want to change this footer. This is my footer on the bottom. And let's say we want to change this. So I could download the package again. In fact, let's download the package just so we have part of our exercise. I could just change here and refresh it, but let's redo it. I'm going to remove these. Let's remove that. And let's take this one here and I will back this one up as well. 2025, 1028 in the current time. Okay. So let's say now I want to change the logo back to what it was, and I want to change the footer. So we'll download the customization package, moving to the Manage Customization Package tab, download, downloading the current view, download. And show in folder, let's take this, I'll say Control X, and we'll go to where we were before, which is the Primo V customization package, webinar morning, paste. Here's my new one. Let's follow our directions in the blog, even though it's really quite intuitive. But let's take this blog here of how to add headers and footers. So again, we see right now there's no footer, but we already have a footer in our example. We're merely going to change it. Here, there's no footer. So we downloaded the package. We're going to go now to the assets footer header folder. And there we have a file, footer HTML. This is a sample footer HTML. And we're going to make a new one. So let's extract here. We'll go to this directory. Under the assets, we have header footer, and here's our footer file. Let's edit. Let's edit that with Notepad++. So this is an HTML file. So we have one that says view library open hours, which goes here. We have another one that says view other library open hours, which goes here. And we've got another one that says 20 best places to visit in Tehran that I'm obsessed with, which goes here. I've merely taken internet sites and putting them here. So let's say instead of this view other library open hours, we want to put something else. Right now, we have this one here, view other library open hours. If I click there now, it goes to a new tab. It opens in a new tab and it goes to that page. But we want to change it to something else. So let's go and find any other page. Let's take any other page. Let's continue our theme there. And let's go, we want to come to this one here. Okay. What is this? Taiwan on Wikipedia. For whatever reason, we want to make a link there. It can be any link. So here, we'll edit. We already are editing. So let's change this. Instead of view library open hours, we'll say view the Wikipedia article. And we will change this. Need to be very careful here, as you know. Okay, that looks correct. At the bottom, it says Alma University and International Training Center, and that is coming from here. And it's got the copyright sign. This is the copyright sign is coming from here. And let's change this. Let's say this is Alma University and International Training Center, Taipei, and morning webinar. So now we've changed it there and save. So we changed our footer file. While we're at it, let's also put our icon back. So just to confirm, we're in the assets. If we come to the footer, I clicked it now, and here we are, view the Wikipedia article in this. Okay. All I did there was I clicked this file, and it's .html, so it opened up as an HTML. I wanted to confirm that it was really the one. Now let's go back to the icon and put back our original icon. So under Assets, we'll go to Images, and this one here, I will remove this one here that says Library Logo. And I'll take this Clarivate one, and I'll call that Library Logo. So now we've made two changes. We changed the logo back to the Clarivate logo, library logo, and we changed the footer file. We can now already go in. Let me point something out here. I see a comment came in that we don't have. Let me read the exact comment. Is there a way to transfer a current links? I would like to add a Google Analytics. Okay, default header footer files. That's another thing. Someone says a template doesn't come through with anything in the header footer folder. Correct. Like right now, there is no header. There's no header file. If I come back to the header footer folder, let me come back in. What the comment was relating to was right now there's no header file here, and by default there's no footer file. The footer file, sorry, I'm trying to say that slowly because it sounds kind of funny when you say footer file fast. I have a sample here, and you can also see samples in the online help. So you could just copy this and you've got a footer file, a footer file. Also, same with the header file. And if we come here, these are the online help, the links to the online helps. This is the Primo V configuration online help video. Let me just come in here and say, oh, I'm already here. I'm here already. So here, let me do a Control F here. This is the online help. And There we go. Okay, so these are samples here. This is just a sample you can copy from here and continue playing around with them. So you can take it right from here as well. I could go out on a limb now and make a sample header. It says headers and footers are at the top and the bottom. That's pretty clear. You can add it and simply call it header HTML or footer HTML like it is here. And let's even do that. Haven't done this before, but what's the worst that's going to happen? I'm going to take this footer HTML. I'm going to call it header HTML. And I will edit that in Notepad++. Let's just make it very, very small. I will get rid of these two links. And I will call this just Alma University morning webinar. And I will change this to header. And I will change this to header. So now I've made a header and a footer. Anything else here I need to do? Okay. Save. Okay, let's see what's going to happen. Instead of view library open hours, let's say I want it just to go there. And I'm going to say view library web page. All right. Save. So now I have a header and a footer. Let's see what's going to happen. This is going to be exciting. So first I need to zip it, of course. So let's save our old zip again. Actually, let's just get rid of it. We've got a million of them. Here we go. We're going to zip this. We've got our new logo, changed footer, new header. And there we go. There it is. Here's our new zip. Let's load it here. Customization package. Here's our new zip 832. Upload. Now I need to deploy. I'll click the save to deploy. I'm going to leave this one here with our old footer. Old footer, old logo. So we have something to compare to. I deployed, right? So now I'll say back, get out of here. Let's go there again. Go to view. Okay, so now we have a header. It's not a very nice header, but we have a header. Here's the header on top. If I click view library web page, goes to my library web page. Let's just let that load. Yep, goes to my library web page. And I've got my new footer. My new footer is here. It says morning webinar at the end. It says view the Wikipedia article. Those are the changes we made. I click there and I go right to my Wikipedia article. So we have successfully, in sum, we have successfully downloaded the customization package. We changed the footer. We didn't have a header at all, and we added a header. It's not the most aesthetically pleasing looking header, but we added a header. That was our goal, and we added a header. Let's get rid of that header. Oh, and we also have our new icon. Wonderful. So let's just clean that up a bit. Then we're going to move, when we're going to stop for questions, then we're going to move on to our next one. So let me edit this one. Back into that same folder. I'm not going to download again, change and upload. I'm just going to take the one we did. We say, okay, we want to change that a bit. So we're going to go to our headers and footers. I'm going to remove this. In fact, instead of removing it, like I did with the other header, I'll call this old, not in use. And my, oh no, I want to do that with the header. I'm going to call my header old, not in use. And let's clean up this footer a bit. I'm going to remove the morning webinar part here. I can leave the rest. They all look good. And save. So now we no longer have, oops, go here. We no longer have in the package, we no longer have the header. We changed the footer. So now we need to repackage the whole thing. Back up, up, up. Get rid of this one. Zip it. And here's my new zip file. Let's upload that new zip file. Going to the Manage Customization Package tab. We'll upload that file. Here's the zip. Upload. And save to deploy. Customization package deployed successfully. Let's now go to our new view. Go to view. Or let's clarify. Let's go to our newly customized view. Okay, so we no longer have the header. The footer no longer states morning webinar. So we have made our changes. Okay, I see, looks like Neely is answering most of the chats, if not all. I'll take a look at the chat, see if there's anything we want to address. Neely, are we all set on the chats? Should I just move on, or is there something we want to relate to here? It looks like you're answering all of them, Neely.
I want to relate if possible.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
1 minute. So all of the things that Yoel is showing, indeed, at the moment available while you are uploading from download and upload from the current customization package, the ones that are working through development environment, from working as a proxy, those changes are not dynamically impacted when you are working in a proxy. I mean, in real time, when in the development environment, it will not refresh. But if you will upload a package, it will work. So it's a non-issue, and we will work to fix it to make it also real time while you are developing from the proxy. This is one comment. Another question is someone asked about Google Analytics, whether to add it to the header or to custom JS. I would say you will have to try and see where to fit and how it's work. This is a customization area. We didn't check that. If you do, please share it with the community. Okay.
Okay. Someone asked here about it. Can they leave the logo empty? Let's give that a shot. Someone says if we prefer the library logo in the header, can it be left blank in the top menu? Interesting. Let's take a look. Easiest way to find out is to go look through the documentation or try it yourself. I'm going to remove this logo. Let's see what's going to happen if I just don't put in a logo. Never tried before. Let's see what's going to happen. Someone asks if they don't want the logo in that standard place where we put it. I'm going to come into my images. I'm going to make nothing will have library logo. Right now, this is the one we're using, the library logo. And instead of that, I'm just going to delete it. Now I have no library logo. What's going to happen? Very interesting. Here we go. Let's zip that up with no logo. In 7-zip I use. Okay. Okay, here's my new zip. Let's make sure I have no logo. I'm going to come into here again. I just want to make sure I really did get nothing here says library logo PNG. Great. Okay. So now we're going to upload that new one. Manage customization package, upload that new customization package, which doesn't have a logo. Upload and deploy. Customization package deployed successfully. Let's now go there. Ah, you see that? Oh, that's the what's it called? The text that appears. Okay, so you can remove it. I would need to also remove the text here. And it's still going to that place that I wanted to link to, so I can remove the logo. Okay. Someone says there you can put in a transparent GIF. Yeah, that's usually what's done in these kind of cases. Let me put back my logo now. So you can remove a logo, but like someone suggested, you can put in something transparent or something with 1 pixel. Let's take this Clarivate one, and I'll make this my library logo again. Just so I do have a logo for the rest of our session. Okay, now I've got a library logo. Now I'm going to rezip. So here's my new zip. Now I put back the logo, and I will load that file. Here's my zip. Upload and deploy. Let's go there. And my logo is back. Okay, so let's move on. Let's go back to our plan. The homepage. Okay, let's take a look at our homepage. So I'm now at the homepage. I just came here. Maybe instead of ask a librarian or instead of welcome to the library, I want to change something here. I could change it drastically and change the whole page, but let's just make a little change here. So let's start from scratch again and download the customization package. We'll go through the whole flow. And let's also go to our blog and we'll follow the blog on this. So for this blog, let's go to the tag here, how to use the Primo V customization package. And now we're going to focus on the homepage. So here also, ask a librarian. So we want to change this. So we're going to download the customization package just like we've been doing. Then we're going to go into the relevant directory like we've been going into. That's going to be a directory called homepage, and we have a file there, homepage e in HTML. So let's do that. We will download. Let's clean up what we got here already. This is our morning session. I'll save this old zip. $8:43 already. Time always flies during these sessions. You know what? Let's just get rid of this. How many do we need to save? And we'll get rid of this. Okay, let's download and let's do it. So we'll edit the view. We'll come to the Manage Customization package and we will download the existing package. Current View Customization package, download. Here it is. Let's view that in folder. I will Control Exit and let's now put it here in the WebEx morning session. We'll extract here. And let's go to it. Here's my directory. Under Assets, we have Homepage. And we have the homepage EN. Now, by the way, there's a template here. The first time you use it, if you don't already have your homepage EN HTML, you can take the template, copy it to just HTML. So let's change this now. Let's edit this in Notepad++. And we, as an example, said, let me close all these others, all the ones we've been playing with along the way. Instead of ask a librarian, we want to change it to something else. Let me see, what do we got here? Okay, ask a librarian. So Here's the homepage en HTML. And let's look for Ask a Librarian. Here it is. So it's going here. Let me get rid of my search thing here. So here it is. Ask a Librarian. That's the ID. Okay, so let's change our URL. Maybe we want the URL to go somewhere else. Instead of the contact us, let me see if I could do something else in here. I'm going to comment out this whole row. And I'll redo it. Let's say ahref. Put in a different URL. Just use one of these other URLs that we were using earlier. And I'll keep these here. And now instead of ask a librarian, let's call it ask one of our experts. That'll be enough. Okay. All right, so I made a little change there. There's more to change, and I commented out part of the change. I've never put a comment in one of these HTMLs that we upload, but we'll see if that works as well. The header, which I never did before, worked as well. So we've commented that out. Let's continue here. Oh, span, yeah, let's change this also. So let's say we'll comment out this row as well. We'll call this Ask One of Our Experts. Okay. From the... Okay, I just want to have the span one has a different text than here. This is the ARIA label, and I have here the span. Just in case I'm already foreseeing somebody says, what's the difference between the label and the span? But we don't want to get into the whole HTML business, but enough that we have a change here. So let's save this. We changed our homepage, save. Now we need to zip, upload, deploy. So here we zip, upload, and deploy. I'm going to double click this just to make sure it works. Because if I double click in HTML now, it'll open in a browser. Okay, so here it is. Ask one of our experts from the Taipei Educational Center. And if I click that, it goes to the URL that I put there. Excellent. So it does work. So let's just fix that little spelling error I had there. Okay. So this is saved. And now we're going to zip. Here. Let me get rid of this old zip. Okay, here she is. This is the new zip. And we will upload that zip. We're in the upload package section of the manage customization package tab. Upload. Deploy by clicking save. Successfully deployed. Let's give it a shot now. Here we go. Go to view. Yeah, we have our regular logo back. And oh, we went to this. Okay, so here it is. Ask one of our experts from the Taipei Educational Center. It's taking the span. If I click that, it should now go to the website that I put in there, which was a wiki website, but it could go anywhere, of course. I click that. Beautiful. Okay, so we changed the homepage, a minor change, but the main point here is we're showing we're using the customization package to make the change. We downloaded, made a change, and uploaded. Let's just put that one back, and we also see we can use the tabs there. I'm just going to make that just for cleanliness purposes. Let's go back to the homepage. Take this HTML, edit with Notepad++, and now it's nice. All I have to do is move my comments, and I'll have the original. So I'll take that and put it here, and I'll take this, put it here. Same thing here. Okay, save. Now I've got the original back because I commented out the originals and now I uncommented them, and I did comment what we added previously. So now I've got my new version here. We're going to zip again. Get rid of this. Zip. Upload that new zip. Manage customization package. I'm in the upload package section. Here's my new zip. Upload, save to deploy. Deployed successfully. Let's go there now. Go to view. And we're back to the original. Okay. Let's see if there's any questions or comments there that we didn't get. Chat.
Can I add? I'd like
Go
to
right
add.
ahead. Go right ahead.
So what y'all just did is editing that HTML or the homepage HTML. Of course, if you are in a site that you have a multi-language, you will need to provide an HTML for each one of the language that you have.
Let me just show that, Nili, because we've got the example here with the underline EN. It would be underline something else.
Yeah, and in French or Deutsch or so you need to multiply the work for that. I also want to mention, so this is give you a all functionality to replace entirely. Now, if you do want to stick with that layout that we created, like quick links, like opening an FAQ, a welcome, a place for announcement, and down there below, uh, um, about the library, you should also know that in the roadmap of 2026, we are also, as part of the curve that you voted, we are going to provide, it's going to be released in May, an option to do that in configuration. So here you have the totally freedom to change and edit the HTML, adjust it to your own. We will also support the option to have that, but in parallel, you can choose not to go ahead and edit in HTML, and we will provide configuration for those links. So you will be able to choose the link and the label, and then it will also work for you in many maintaining other languages. The announcement will be more dynamically. We'll have a place to add those label and change it without the need to download and upload. So, but this will, if you choose to stick with that kind of layout, we will support configuration for that. I just put it here so you will know all options that will be available for you. So this is one comment that I wanted to add. Another comment is for the ones that are working with the advanced customization, I see, and it's something that we heard also from early adopters. The static HTML at the moment we will not support in hybrid mode when you either have the freedom to edit the homepage HTML and also put Angular components in between supporting after, and it's too complex to combine both options of the ability to add your own component to that layout. It's either you are totally have the editor, it will be very complex to provide the option to in the middle of those HTML to support your custom components. The ability is to have either the freedom to add the static HTML or to entirely replace it with your own custom HTML, and that will be the approach. So I hope it's well clear, and you also need to know what is coming in the roadmap in 2026. Okay.
If you want to talk more about the roadmap, go ahead, Neely.
No, I think
Okay.
you can see that we've updated some these available features with a roadmap for 2026. So you go ahead and look on that. So and fit and plan your transition also accordingly to that. And also saw that there are some issue like at the moment the ones that have and trying on the sandbox release, you see that 5 icon is not working. Our development engineers are working to resolve that. So we are trying to be very transparent with the plan and also to hear the voice of you. And please don't hesitate to open a case for us so we can respond fast. Okay. And
Okay,
great.
thank
Thank you.
you. All right, are there any other questions or comments? We have 3 minutes left, so we're not going to get into a whole nother change here. We could start, we're not going to show how to change the background colors with the customization package in 3 minutes. Are there any other questions or comments from anyone before we finish? I don't see any other questions or comments coming in. We'll give one more second. Okay, no other questions or comments. So we will end here. The recording will go on to YouTube. Oh, someone asks, is there a CSS file for configuration? CSS file for, can you want to relate to that, Nilly?
Yeah, so the layout of the homepage also have under the same homepage folder, you also have this homepage
Oh,
CSS
that's where
file.
we would have shown the color one. Yeah, let's very quickly do the color one in the CSS. Let's see what we can do. I'm not going to go really quickly. I mean, I'm not going to show the whole thing. Let me share the screen because that is the CSS file. So let's share.
No, it's talking on not only the custom CSS, but
Oh,
under the homepage there
oh,
is
this one
also
here.
a
This one here.
dedicated
Yeah,
CSS. So you
right.
have also the freedom to change the styling of that template. Of course, what we're giving here is a suggestion. You can go ahead and have your own template, and so you can go ahead and adjust it. You can just rename the template and also do the adjustment for that CSS. So it's really a black box of your homepage.
Is there any limitation for the URL in the home page? No. Oops. Let's go back to that last chat there. So we're not going to show the colors today. What about the JS file? Is there any limitation to the URL in the home page? Now there are 5 URL we can click. Okay, great. What about? I'll let you take these, Neely.
I'm not sure. Yeah. Is there any limitation to the URL in the homepage? If you are adding more links for, I guess you are meaning for the quick links. I think you need to go on the width of the homepage. Of course, you can reduce, and if you are adding, this is why we are giving you also the styling, the homepage CSS, so you can adjust accordingly. You slide. If you have more than 5, you can choose to split it into 3 buttons above and 3 buttons at the top. You just have the freedom to go and adjust it to the way you want to have for your needs. Okay, I would like one last before ending about the custom JS. So the custom JS, it's not like it used to be in the Angular JS customization package where you did all of the code over there. Here, the custom JS is mainly function to have the ability to load scripts upon loading the application. So, for example, if you are integrating with SpringShare, and SpringShare is not need to be bind to and hooked to a specific element or button in our interface, you just put a chat on the right corner, not hooked to any element in our UI. Then you can use the custom JavaScript to do a call to loading the script. This is different from the way it is today. If you need to go ahead and adjust and place custom component before or after one of our buttons, this will where you have to go into the advanced customization model. So just pay attention when you are using the JavaScript, custom JS for the entire meaning of loading script upon loading the application, or if you need to adjust more, this is the advanced customization training. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Nili, and thank you everybody for joining us. We will be loading the recording to YouTube. You'll be able to access it from the Education Webinars page, from the 2025 Roadmap Webinar Series page, and directly from YouTube. And we are already working on the 2026 Roadmap Webinar Series, so stay tuned. We've got some exciting stuff planned there. Have a nice day, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.